That's how, and I know that probably rubs people the wrong way because he's such a good dude, but I don't give a shit about that stuff. He's Tyrod Taylor to me until he proves me wrong. I'm not one to sit here and tell you that I think he's going to do this or he's going to. Right now, he's Tyrod Taylor. Good afternoon, Big Sills. I mean, Xander is like, this guy's like a poison pill. He's like, I'm like, what do you think? I kind of like, he's like, I like Jalen, and then I'm like, well, if you're okay with Tyrod Taylor, you're okay with Jalen Hurts. I should not have started it with that, but hey, here we are, football week. We are just hours away from the start of the NFL season on Thursday. If you're okay with Tyrod Taylor, you're okay with Jalen Hurts. That's going to be my theme for the entire 2022 season. Okay? It is. I appreciate everybody coming aboard. James, thanks for being a new member and coming aboard with us here. We are packed. Bottom of the hour, Rob Stone, Fox Sports. We'll talk to him some college football. And in hour number 3, we're going to talk Jalen Hurts with a Hall of Fame quarterback who threw the ball by the name of Warren Moon. You guys don't want to take my advice. How about if you listen to Warren Moon? And by the way, I have no idea what he's going to say. I have no idea what he's going to say. I had Michael Irvin on talking Eagle Dynasty a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to get Warren Moon on. We'll see what he says. Wait a minute. Oh, boy, that's the theme? Hey, hat on a hat. It's only a goof. Don't be like some of the Philly media people. Hey, did you really mean that? Relax. It's all good. All right. So Nick Sirianni, man, let me start there. By the way, he's a Paisan, so I have to be cool here. I always give Paisans a lot of love. So Sirianni, and I'm paraphrasing this thing here. Philly football means everything. Football means everything in Philly. This guy knows how to work a crowd, doesn't he? I started thinking about that, and I do believe, I think he's half right. Funny, I was talking to Xander minutes ago when we were talking about winning. I think Philly is a great sports city. There's no question. But you know what I think Philly is? Dude, it's the home of Ricky Bobby. You're right. If you ain't first, you're last. Nick's got it half right. Philadelphia wants winners. Whether it's the Flyers, the Phillies, the Eagles, hopscotch, you name it. It's about winning. Nobody roots for 500. And nobody roots for common or average. No one does. Well, unless you live in Los Angeles. Those guys root for whatever. I don't know. We're sports fans on the planet are in L.A. And I'm trying to think. I'm like, football does matter, man. There's no doubt. Philly's an Eagle town. But it's the home of winners. You love winners. Who doesn't love winners? Who doesn't like a fan? I told you this, man. I go, look, I'm kind of an Eagle fan. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that, hey, since we're talking Eagles, Big Sills is this gigantic Philadelphia Eagle fan. That's not how I am. And to Xander's point prior to going on the air, I'm a hard critic. I'm a hard critic because I demand perfection. I do. I demand perfection. And I'm thinking, in Philly, man, that city loves winners. And that's what makes your fan base the best fan base in the country. I do think Boston's in there too. I think Pittsburgh's in there. I think Chicago. Chicago's a great football city. Their team sucks. But it's a pretty good sports fan base there. Yeah, we've seen them all over. Packers have a great fan base, and they travel well. Steelers are all over the joint. You know what, too? What's funny about Pennsylvania? You can't have any more two different cities than Pittsburgh and Philly. It's like night and day when it comes to the fan bases. If you lived in Pittsburgh, you would never know Philadelphia was in the state of Pennsylvania. Vice versa, too. You'd never know that unless you listen to those fan bases. So I think Sirianni got it half right. Philly does love football. They embrace it. But they like winners more. And they're one of those kind of fan bases that does this. You know, some of the stupid people that make this comment, well, if they build it, they will come. In Philly, that resonates. Dude, build the team. Build the excitement up, like Howie's done. Put it together here. By the way, you've raised my expectations, and I'm here now. What do you got for me? Hey, and don't shit the bed, because it won't go well for you. Just don't do that, because it won't go well. You've built my expectations up with this football team on all the things that you've done and all the things that you've said. You haven't quite performed yet, though. Okay? I wrote down the Big Sills 2022 Eagle Sports takes that I'm going to be looking at as this season goes on this year. I'm going to be looking at a couple topics that I wrote down here. And I put them all together. And you know what this is? This is kind of like a collage of all the things that we've been talking about in the offseason. And I kind of put them down on paper here. I highlighted them. We got it here. Got a bunch of stuff. By the way, NFL news too. We'll get all into that here. And I'm going to start doing a weekly NFC power ranking of the top 10 teams. And I got a preseason as we get ready for tomorrow's Rams and Bills game. So I'm going to do that. Questions for the Eagles in 2022. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to go over all these. By the way, don't forget Rob Stone, bottom of the hour, Fox Sports, college football. Also, hour number 3, Warren Moon. We're going to talk Jalen Hurts with the Hall of Famer. I appreciate everybody coming aboard. Thank you, Michael Flex. I appreciate it. Brian says, buckle up. Absolutely. Time to pay some rent, baby. There's an Eagle reference anywhere you go in Philly. Absolutely, dude. I'm still not sold on Hurts. Well, let's start there. Here's one of the topics that we'll keep an eye on as we get into the 2022 season. Will Hurts play well enough to keep his job for 2023? That'll be a main topic. That is probably what they're saying about Trey Lance in San Francisco. You know, it's funny. I was talking to, again, Xander prior to going on the air here as we do a little pregame conversation. I say that Trey Lance will be yanked out by game 4. People blow a gasket. Peter King says it this morning on the game in San Francisco, one of the local radio stations. And guess what? Peter King is like, I'm not knocking the move bringing Garoppolo back. But there's going to be a price to pay the development of Trey Lance when you bring a guy like that back. He knows he's on a short leash. I personally think that guy will be yanked by game 4. You can't waste a roster like that in San Francisco, like you can't waste the roster in Philly if your guy's not the guy. You can't. I don't care how much you love him. This is professional football. Put down the love glasses and the kaleidoscope and the rose-colored glasses when it comes to Hurts. No one gives a shit except for winning. This is winning. Winning. Will he play well enough to keep his job and make it hard on the Eagles not to have a conversation on what to do when it comes to the quarterback next year? Whatever that looks like, a veteran or going into the draft. It's the number one topic. Here's the second one on Hurts. Are you concerned about his durability? His style of football doesn't have a lifeline that's high or a high ceiling. Those guys get hurt more than drop-back quarterbacks do. Common sense would tell you that. You throw the ball 450 times, there's a chance you're going to be sacked. And if you run the ball another 160 times, you're going to get hit. Is durability. Joseph says no. Well, your guy had surgery at the end of the year in his first year starting. So you think, Joseph, he's going to get healthier? Since when does an NFL player ever get healthier once his career starts? You think Brady's healthier today than he was 10 years ago? How about this? 5 years ago. You think Brady's healthier? Come on, man. Common sense. Common sense. Here's a guy that, Cam Newton, Michael Vick. If you want to throw Steve Young, do you guys remember why Steve Young left the game? Concussions. And Young was a passer and a thrower. He left the game. How long did Steve Young play? 9 years? Most of the other years were backups to Montana. You're under some guise that Jalen is going to be some healthy guy because he could squat 600 pounds. That's a stupid take. No, he got hurt because Kelsey stepped on. I don't care if the trainer stepped on his legs. You're going to get hurt. Oh, wait a minute. You're right, Flex. That's right. That's why Cam Newton is a shell of himself today. And every quarterback like Lamar Jackson, who's 10 times the size and health of Jalen Hurts, missed half of last year. You're right. He'll be the only running quarterback never to get hit. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. And by the way, no one's rooting for anything here. I'm talking about topics here. Jesus. Here's another one. Will Sirianni continue to grow as a head coach? Will he get better? You know, it's not just about Jalen Hurts getting better. It's also about that coaching staff continue to evolve. How many times have we seen guys get out of the gate, not do very well? Mike Shanahan comes to mind. Who else? Bill Belichick. Belichick was fired from his first job, and so was Mike Shanahan fired from his first job. That Raider fiasco was a disaster for Mike Shanahan. He didn't get better. He learned from his mistakes, not successes. Same with Belichick. That's why I'm suspect on Nick. Nick hasn't had any adversity outside of the 2-5 start. And he gets kudos. He does. He gets kudos for turning the season around. Absolutely. Okay? Ethan goes, Russell Wilson, how often has he been hurt? He's not a running quarterback. He's not a running quarterback. Okay? He's not. That's a misunderstanding on Russell Wilson's success. Russell Wilson runs when he has to. Jalen Hurts runs because he has to. Okay? He runs because he doesn't let the play develop. Russell Wilson, when everything is over, He takes off. Jalen doesn't let the play develop. Greg Cosell said that yesterday. And so have numerous other people, and you know I'm saying that. That's right, Pickens. Wilson learned when to run. Okay? So did Young eventually. Well, Young left the game because of concussions and being hit. And that's right, Daz. Russell Wilson almost has 40,000 passing yards. That doesn't come off as a runner to me. Yeah, okay. Right. That's right. He's a 40,000-yard passing quarterback. You're right. He relies on his wheels. Okay. Will Sirianni and his staff continue to get better? Next one. Is this the last year of Jonathan Gannon? Boy, I'll tell you, I can't stand this guy as a coach. I just can't. I think you have the personality of your defensive coordinator the same way you have your personality of your head coach. I think the guy's soft in his mentality and how he approaches things. Okay? I do. Flex says Hurts' rushing numbers will go down and passing will go up. I don't believe that. We'll see. And there lies my issue, Flex. You think he's improved as a passer. I don't. I don't think because you've put 4 new tires on a Ferrari and the Ferrari has a Nissan engine in it that you call it a Ferrari. Just because you put 4 new tires on it. I don't. Okay? Just because you fixed up the car doesn't mean the car's going to run well. I want to see it. Sills, he does not fit Philly. He saw Jones. How can you have the coordinators by the name of Jim Johnson, Bud Carson, Jim Schwartz, and Buddy Ryan in the building, and you have Jonathan Gannon / I work over at the Philadelphia Library? Oh, yeah, I check out CPA books. How can you have that guy? Seriously, man, that guy looks like he works over at the Philly Library. And this guy works where you have, yes, CPA and tax reform. That's on the 3rd floor. I mean, I don't know. It's just, to me, that's how he comes off to me. Dude, I want somebody to go after somebody, and I want somebody to put people on their back. Okay? Pickens, I can't believe it either. Can you believe the Bills are favored over the world champion Rams in their own building? Boy, man, if I played on that Rams team, I might be pissed off at that. Really? Man, you're talking how good old Buffalo is, and hey, I am too, man. I think they're going to win the AFC. I do. I think they're going to win the AFC too. But boy, I'll tell you, I also have to apply the same criticism that I have for all the hype that's going around the Eagles. The same thing with the Bills. Okay, let's get out and play some ball. You see Jalen Ramsey, what he said? Hey, man, I'm not going to hype them up like you guys are. Let's go out and play some football, man. We'll find out, you know? It's time to go play some ball. I love that. Stop lipping and start hitting. That's what it's about now, man. I'm with you guys. I can't see Jonathan Gannon, man. I just can't. Okay? All right. Do you guys feel like 2017 right now with this football team as you get ready? Do you feel confident that this has a air of being like the 17 Eagles? Do you feel that? Okay? Sills, Bills are the better team. Yeah, well, beat the champs. Ryan, beat the champs. That's how I look at it. Okay, well, you're the king until someone knocks you off the pedestal. The Rams are the king. You could call yourself the king, but they wear the crown. That's how I look at it. The Bills want that crown. The Eagles want that crown. Hey, all I'm telling you is, okay, let's go play 60 minutes of football. Let's go get it. By the way, don't forget Rob Stone, Fox Sports College Football, bottom of the hour. We'll talk about some of those college football quarterback prospects, too, that maybe how we can look at. And we'll get his take, okay? Okay? All right, so, hey, Rob's having some technical issues. It's California, remember, man. So it may be by his phone instead of by internet here, too. Will leave us. We'll talk a little bit about that. I got a boatload here to hit on here with the Eagles here. We're still going to continue that conversation, too, but I wanted to get the ratings for college football over the weekend were off the charts, record-breaking weekend. I have never seen anticipation for football, both college and pro, like I have this year. I mean, from Thursday night all the way until Sunday, I'm telling you, Monday Night Football. Now you got Buck and Aikman on Monday night on ESPN. Football is going to be owned by the fans and going to be owned by football fans. Hard work beats talent when the talent fails to work hard. I love that flex. Hurts has been with Brady. Dude, I don't care how hard you work. If you don't have talent, he's not a super talented quarterback. He's not. He's Tyrod Taylor. Okay? That's how, and I know that probably rubs people the wrong way because he's such a good dude, but I don't give a shit about that stuff. He's Tyrod Taylor to me until he proves me wrong. I'm not one to sit here and tell you that I think he's going to do this or he's going to. Right now, he's Tyrod Taylor. Okay? Brady, because he works out with Brady, doesn't mean he's going to do the things Brady does in games. Because he can't. Brady can't run. Brady can't run. Brady doesn't want to run. Jalen does not let plays develop. It's a fact. That's why his receivers are never open. Because these DBs and these safeties are so good at what they do. That last second of the route. That's why Brady has cows with his wideouts when they're not running precise routes. Because he sits in that pocket until the very end. The last second. And that's traditionally when most of the great wideouts get open. Not in the front end of the route. In the back end of the route. That's why he takes off. It's technically unsound. You have been consistent when it comes to Hurts. Roland, nothing personal either. Honestly. No agendas. I like people to go out and win. I don't like giving anybody anything. And to me, it's a better story when a guy goes out and the story of Tom Brady. I'll give you a better one. The Kurt Warner story is the greatest story of all time. He was cut 5 times, told he couldn't play, had to go to the Arena League, had to go to the World League, got one more shot with the Rams. Out of nowhere, Trent Green gets injured. And then the greatest show on turf is created. And he gets his opportunity to be a superstar. And then he gets his opportunity to put a gold jacket on. That, to me, is the greatest story I've ever seen when it comes to a quarterback fulfilling one's belief in who he is. Kurt Warner had no chance of making it. Instead, he's one of the 350 plus busts in Canton, Ohio. That's a story. That's an incredible journey to becoming a starting quarterback and a superstar quarterback in the NFL. Philly 559. No agenda. That's funny. What's the agenda then? Tell me what the agenda is. I'd like to know it myself. Philly, let's put on your mind reading hat. What's the agenda? Tell me what the agenda is. I'm not even sure what that means. Brady isn't as talented as Rodgers. Jesus Christ, you're talking about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Hurts. My God almighty. It's like, what doesn't fit? Hurts, Brady, Rodgers. Pick one that doesn't fit. Okay, pretty simple. So why can't that happen to Hurts? Because he's not talented at the position of throwing the ball. And this is a league of throwing, not running quarterbacks. The NFL is a league of throwing. The rules have set the game up for that. Okay? They have set the game up for passing, not running. Nobody in the NFL drafts a running quarterback. Nobody in the NFL drafts a running quarterback. Nobody. They draft passers. They draft guys who can throw the ball and win throwing it from the pocket. Okay? Josh Allen's not going to win football games in Buffalo running the ball. Okay? Doesn't make sense. Here's another topic. Can the Eagles win the number one seed in the NFC? You win the number one seed in the NFC, and I think you can. If you win the number one seed, you're going to win that playoff game you covet. And you're going to get to the NFC Championship game. If you don't win the number one seed, you won't, because you're not going to beat Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Stafford on the road. You won't. Not with that quarterback. There lies the deal. If you have to go on the road to Tampa, Green Bay, or Los Angeles, you're not beating any of those quarterbacks. But if you get the number one seed, you're going to have an opportunity to win a playoff game, and anything can happen when that happens, when you get an opportunity. By the way, can somebody refresh my memory? In 2017, did the Eagles host the NFC Championship game? I forget. I forget. In 2017, did they host the NFC title game? I forgot that. Joe goes, what time is Warren Moon coming on? 5:30 Eastern time. They hosted the NFC Championship game in 2017. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Good. Okay, good. Absolutely. I think you got to do it again. Road came through Philly. I think it's got to go through Philly again for you to win that playoff game and get to the NFC title game. Does that make sense? Look, if the Bucs have to come on the road, or if Aaron Rodgers has to go into Lincoln Financial, or I'll take to me, that's a way better opportunity at trying to win that NFC, in my opinion, if that rolls through it, okay? Home field advantage. And if the playoffs have to go through Philadelphia, okay, awesome. You sound stupid how you compare a quarterback who's only been a starter for one season to a I do I? Okay, Kevin, we'll find out by the end of the year. That guy is not good enough to be in the conversation with Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or any of those other guys. He's not. You know it and I know it. He's Tyrod Taylor. He's Tyrod Taylor. And by the way, Tyrod Taylor went to a Pro Bowl too. And he wasn't an alternate. Teddy Bridgewater went to a Pro Bowl. Let's not get nuts here. Talk to me like that. I love it. I do think it matters, 5-star. I do think it matters, man. I think they got to get home field advantage. If they get home field advantage, man, they can make it to that NFC title game like I think they can. Run that baby through, man. They've got the schedule to get it done. Okay? Roland, you don't like that comparison? Well, who are you comparing him to now? Who do you hey, that's interesting. I've never asked that question. Who do you compare Jalen Hurts to now? I like to hear what people who they think he's what? What is he right now to you? 13 wins? I think 12 might get it done, Jones. I think 12 might get it done. Okay? I think 12 might get it done where you can host home field advantage. Ryan says he's Russell Wilson. Okay. He's Dak Prescott. Those guys could throw the ball. McNabb. Really? So you think Jalen Hurts is Donovan McNabb? Boy, I do not. He's not Dak Prescott. It ain't close, man. Wilson. How you see Wilson throw the football? Yeah, he led the NFL in passing touchdowns. His first 3 years in the league, he went to 2 Super Bowls. And again, they had Marshawn Lynch. To me, that football team in Seattle with Russell Wilson was never the same after Marshawn Lynch left the building. They didn't have a running game. That's what's happening in Kansas City right now. Play action pass. That's why I told you, if Jalen is going to have a decent year this year, Miles Sanders has to be on the field for 17 football games. He can't be in the tub right now getting his hamstring. And I saw Sirianni today say that he's not concerned about it. Great. That's going to be vital as you go through this journey this year. That guy's got to be healthy. You've got to have play action set up for Jalen, or it's going to be the same as last year. Teams will be able to read this guy. And I love how everyone has said because they added A.J. Brown. Do you know actually what I think the added addition of A.J. Brown as we get into game week here? You want to know the truth? I think Devontae Smith suffers. You're making it sound like this kid here is going to be all of a sudden massive progression reader, and he's never been a massive progression reader in his entire career. But now he's going to see Goddard, Brown, and Devontae, and he's learned this in 3 months. Woo, boy. Okay. Okay, so you know what? Actually, Xander, I don't think that's that bad a deal. Rob Stone's canceling on us right now because his internet is absolutely atrocious. My God almighty, man, he's in L.A. He ain't that far away from Big Sills. Hey, Xander, to keep him up north. So we got Warren Moon, and he's not in L.A. He's in, I believe, in Seattle. So we'll have Warren Moon, 5:30 Eastern time. It's all good. I like the conversation we're having now anyway. I think it's all good here, man. You know? Hey, Xander's like, hey, Cells. He goes like this. Hey, Cells, the gremlins are coming for you. They hear the Hurts slander. Slander? You mean truth? Sills loves talking about quarterbacks on teams who had top 3 defenses. You mean like Joe Burrow? We're still lying, and the Bengal defense, I didn't know they were a top 3 defense. They were a top 3 defense? I'm sorry, I must have missed that. I must have missed that ranking. The Rams are a top 3 defense? I must have missed that memo too. I missed that one. Jalen Hurts completion percentage, go up, no drop. No drop balls. Okay, you're talking an entire career. There's a difference between slander and truth. Brian, I know. People hate it, man. Bengals lost the Super Bowl. Oh, yes, they did. Congratulations to you, Jay. Way to Google. Really? The Bengals lost the Super Bowl. The Bengals. Hey, say it again. Hey, Xander, say it again. The Bengals lost the Super Bowl. So Joe Burrow took one of the shittiest franchises in a year and a half of starting. Kind of the same amount of years starting as Jalen Hurts. And he's gone to a Super Bowl inside of a year and a half. Boy, huh? How come your boy couldn't do that? Joe Burrow took it, and don't tell me, well, he's a second rounder, Joe's number one overall. You guys are talking about $40 million per for the guy. Like he's one of the elite dudes. Well, if you're talking 40 million, he's elite. I'm not. I mean, Joe Burrow missed the first. Didn't Burrow miss like half the season his first year starting because of an injury? Then he plays next year and he takes the Bengals. It's like taking the Jets to the Super Bowl. Nobody takes the Bengals to the Super Bowl. The Bengals. That guy changed the entire culture of a shitty organization. I didn't even know who Zach Taylor was. I thought he was a former president. Is it Zachary Taylor? I think so, right? I thought the guy was the former president. I'm like, Zachary Taylor is the head coach of the Bengals? Who's that? It's a different era of football. An Eagle fan sitting here justifying to themselves a mediocre pass. Joe Burrow's the next Tom Brady. Oh, it only took you a year and a half to see that. How come it took you quicker to see that in Cincy? And we're still debating on whether or not Hurts is the guy after a year and a half of starting. Okay? See, by your logic, Burrow is better than Allen because he did what he couldn't do with the worst O-line. No, what I use flex is my eye and my brains. When I watch Justin Herbert throw the ball, I do this. Wow. When I watch Joe Burrow throw the ball, I go, wow. Plus that swagger he has. Hey, here's one thing, though. I do have an ass with Joe Burrow. What do you do hanging out at Ohio State games? They kicked your ass out of the building. What are you doing up there? I mean, it's like almost like a Brady thing. What are you doing in Columbus? I would never go back to Columbus in any way after you told me that Dwayne Haskins and Justin Fields were better than me. I would never go back there. You ever hear me talking about Maryland? Hey, are you kidding me? I keep an eye on it, but I would never go back there. Ugh. Cincy's defense was ranked 19th in opponent yards and 13 in opponent points. Defense was not that bad at all. Burrow was the engine. Dude, your defense was ranked 19th, and Burrow took a defense that was ranked 19th to 1 quarter away from winning the Super Bowl. I don't know. The Bengals. We're not talking about the Niners or some great franchise. We're talking about the Bengals. Oh, man. When I watch, hey, even your guy Shady McCoy goes like this when he was in Buffalo. Dude, this guy Allen is special. He's special, man. Let me continue here. Here is the number one thing. The number one thing. Okay? Let me continue. Here is the number one thing that's on the agenda for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2022. The number one thing is what? Think about that for a minute, okay? We apologize for Rob Stone. We'll reconnect with him to talk some college football with him. His internet went out. We will definitely have Warren Moon with us in hour number 3 at 5:30 talking Jalen Hurts. Also, don't forget my friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. Means this, they don't get paid unless you do. And if you're hurt or injured on the job, there's only one place to go, and that is Morgan & Morgan. Look, they have over 800 attorneys and offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida. and they're ready to do battle for you. And on top of that, they're the largest firm in the country, and they say this to you. There's no such thing as a small case or a fender bender, okay? They're going to be there for you. The biggest in the country. Just remember that when we say that to you, okay? Do me a favor, call them 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor, tell them Big Sil sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.